Alright, let's dive into something that's both mind-bending and surprisingly accessible, the new quantum exhibition at Science Gallery Bengaluru. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me hit you with this. What if I told you that understanding quantum physics could be as engaging as playing a game or wandering through an art installation? Sounds wild, right? But that's exactly what this exhibition is pulling off, and it's got me thinking about how we approach complex ideas in the first place. So, here's the deal: quantum isn't your typical science exhibit. It's a year-long, free-to-visit experience that blends art, design, and interactive installations to make quantum mechanics, the stuff that's famously hard to wrap your head around, feel almost tangible. Personally, I think this is a game changer. What makes this really interesting is how it flips the script on traditional science communication. Instead of throwing equations and jargon at you, it invites you to play with concepts like superposition and entanglement. Take Schrödinger's cat, for instance. At the entrance, you're handed a booklet that lets you decide the cat's fate. Alive? Dead? It's up to you. And that's the beauty of it. Quantum mechanics is all about possibilities until they are observed. This isn't just a clever gimmick, it's a way to make the abstract feel personal. Now, let's talk about one of the standout installations, foul actions at a distance. On the surface, it's about whether birds can sense the Earth's magnetic field. But dig deeper, and you're looking at a fusion of biology, physics, and art. What many people don't realize is that this piece started as an actual experiment with chickens on a farm. The gallery recreates that farm using motion capture imagery, holographic projections, and even hay. It's not just visually stunning, it's a reminder that science often happens in the most unexpected places. If you take a step back and think about it, this installation is a metaphor for how interconnected everything is, from particles to poultry. Another piece that stuck with me is Quantum Jungle. Imagine a web of springs and lights that you can interact with. Touch a spring, and particles start traveling through the network, but here's the kicker: they don't follow a single path. They spread out, taking multiple routes at once. That's superposition in action, and it's mesmerizing. What this really suggests is that the quantum world isn't just weird, it's beautifully weird. It challenges our intuition about how things should behave, and that's where the wonder comes from. But here's what I find most fascinating: the exhibition doesn't just focus on the science, it also highlights the people behind it. There's a dedicated section called Women of Quantum, curated in collaboration with women in the history of quantum physics. This is huge because, let's be honest, women's contributions to science often get overlooked. From my perspective, this isn't just about giving credit where it's due, it's about reshaping the narrative of who gets to be a scientist. It's a small detail, but it speaks volumes about the exhibition's commitment to inclusivity. Now, let's talk about the mediators. These are trained folks stationed throughout the gallery, who explain the exhibits in multiple languages, including Kannada. This is a big deal because it breaks down barriers. Quantum physics can feel intimidating, especially if English isn't your first language, or if you're not a science whiz. By making the content accessible to a broader audience, the gallery is doing something truly radical. It's saying, this isn't just for experts, it's for everyone. So, what's the bigger picture here? Personally, I think this exhibition is part of a larger trend in science communication, one that's moving away from lectures and textbooks toward immersive, interactive experiences. It's not just about teaching, it's about inspiring curiosity. And that's crucial because, let's face it, the world needs more people who are curious about how it works. Quantum physics might seem abstract, but its implications are everywhere, from computing to cryptography. By making it accessible, we are not just demystifying science, we are empowering people to engage with it. As I wrap this up, I'm left with a question: what if more fields took this approach? Imagine history museums where you could live through events, or economics exhibits where you could feel the impact of policies. This raises a deeper question about how we learn and connect with complex ideas. Maybe the key isn't just to inform, but to involve. So, here's my challenge to you. Next time you come across something that seems too complicated, ask yourself, how can I experience it, not just understand it? Because, as this exhibition proves, sometimes the best way to grasp the intangible is to touch, play, and wonder.